NIXON in China was my first opera, and it's kind of puzzling because I never did really like opera. I never went to the opera, and if it weren't for Peter Sellers asking me to do this, I probably never would have started writing opera. I was attracted to this idea because, first of all, it was part of my life. I was a college student when Richard Nixon was president, and he tried to send me to Vietnam. So I had very strong feelings about him. And also, what was important was the fact that Mao, on the one hand, on the left, and Nixon on the right, represented the two philosophies of how people might live their lives. The market economy, Nixon; the social welfare state, Mao. I'm often asked if Nixon in China is relevant, and yes, it always, every time there's a production of it, something's going on politically in the world. And of course, right now in 2023, we're seeing a very grave situation between the United States and China. Suspicion, balloons, possible spying. So, of course, there's a special frisson to this production here in Paris. Having Renee Fleming as Pat Nixon and Tom Hempson as the president, it's sort of like a dream. Renee is an immensely intelligent artist. She read deeply about Pat Nixon, took the role very seriously, and her voice has this clarity. She's able to project a warmth and emotion and a simplicity. And Tom, Tom will be the most handsome and athletic-looking Nixon because Tom is such a, what we say, buff figure himself. And he's familiar with my music. He's sung a piece of mine set to Walt Whitman called The Wound Dresser many times, and he has that sense of depth of emotion. When I look back on this event, which happened in the 1970s, and when I composed it, which was in the mid-1980s, I'm struck by the fact that China was a very, very poor, essentially agricultural country. And when Nixon went there, it was unknown to Americans. And when I realized what's happened to China, it's now the world's second largest economy. It's politically not a country I would want to live in, but I am really amazed by what's happened and how much the Chinese people have grown over this period. So witnessing this opera in this year, 2023, and thinking back to 1987 when it was premiered, it's quite a historical realization.